the purpose for which you want to use them. We have to have access to internet. Okay, yeah, of course. We're talking about Web 2 tools. You must have access to the internet in order to be able to use them in your teaching environments. So, but there is something that is overlooked here. It's not just the internet. The use of such, let's say, tools widely or extensively depends on the instructors or teachers' enthusiasms in integrating technology into their lessons. Because no matter how many tools you have at hand, no matter how advanced the technology at your hand is, or how, I don't know, advanced the school you're working in is, if you don't have the enthusiasm in utilizing such tools to facilitate the process of teaching, all those tools would be of no use. So you first and foremost, it is up to you. If you are eager to integrate them into your lessons, then you can just benefit from them. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to make the best use of it. So because we all agree that such tools have a positive effect on the teaching and learning process, but the question is how and when you're going to use them, or if you are eager enough to use such tools. So okay, before I go through a list of tools that you can use in your language teaching settings, I'm going to talk a little about the evolution of Cal. So what do you know about Cal? What does Cal stand for before moving on? Could you please type in your answers? Okay. No idea. Okay, CAL stands for Computer Assisted Language. Yes, Computer Assisted Language Learning. Thank you very much, Yasmin. So in order to understand the concept on how the Web 2.0 enhances the teaching and learning experience in the ESL classroom, we have to understand the evolution of computer-assisted language learning. Okay, so here I'm going to talk about different aspects of working with the Web 2.0 and how it is related to, let's say, Cal. In ESL, integrating technology has become essential, and the integration of computer-assisted language learning has been instrumental for enhancing the teaching and learning experience in the classroom. So the first thing that I can talk about here is behavioristic Cal, which refers to repetitions and drills, and it was let's say famous in the 70s. Okay, but the use of Cal has moved away from the behavioristic Cal because such let's say methods no longer maybe work best in our teaching environments. So because it is not user friendly and it is boring for the ESL learners, so it's not a decent strategy. you know, following the cognitive theories of the 1970s and 1980s, the theories focused on learning as a process of discovery and expression, and maybe development. So this strategy focused on computer-based activities instead of using forms themselves. So they stopped to you know, they stopped focusing on forms. So the use of text reconstruction programs and simulations, you know, provided the let's say the ESL students with the experience of working alone or in pairs. And finally, let's say we have, you know, Communicative Cal, which, as I said, you know, is mostly about discovery and development. You know, it has to do with simulations and things like that. And after that, the next stage in this process of evolution was Integrative Cal, okay, which was the authentic use of language, and it, you know, it occurred during the 1990s, based on a socio-cognitive view and a focus on the use of language in authentic social contexts. So this opened door for a more diverse student-centered use of technology, which you know, was way different from the first step, which was behavioristic. So Integrative Cal implemented an approach toward ESL learners by which listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills, you know, they were in combination. So here technology tools came in to play in order to facilitate language learning. So this type of Cal, I mean Integrative Cal, opened the door for the use of the Web 2.0 and social media as well, as a strategy for enhancing, let's say, the teaching and learning process in the ESL classroom. So nowadays, thanks to Cal, the second language learning or learners, let's say, okay, you know, have you know, such tools at hand, and they can use them in order to learn language in a more authentic way, because, you know, the use of language is authentic. So here we can understand that the language educators understood that they are not the only source for language information, and they are not you know, the only source for the students. So here technology is also important. You know, you can use, I don't know, technology, multimedia, and everything like that appropriately and accurately in order to facilitate this process. Okay, good. Let's move on. Okay, here I'm going to go through a couple of tools and give you a little bit of just introduction, introduce you into, you know, a couple of popular language teaching and learning tools. So maybe you can choose and select to use a couple of them in your own language settings, language teaching settings. The first one is, okay, the first one is Blendspace.com. Okay, it's a kind of content curation tool. When I say curation, I'm talking about selecting, organizing, and you know, collecting information and putting them together. Like it could be anything. It could be texts, it could be videos, everything. When you put them together, when you collect and organize them, this is called curation. So it's a kind of content curation tool. It is an easy to use tool for creating lessons. You can include multimedia elements in a few minutes. in your lessons, and you can create a lesson by combining a great variety of resources. So make sure, as the website itself claims, you can create digital lessons in just 5 minutes. It could be projects, it could be presentations, and more. And you can join for free. There are a lot of features out there which you can use for free. So make sure to check this tool out. It comes in handy. The second one, which we have here, is Padlet. I don't know if you have ever browsed this website. Padlet.com is a virtual notice board and can be used in a variety of ways depending on the creativity of the language teacher. As I said, the use of these tools depends largely on your enthusiasm. So it is a little bit different from the real notice boards. Padlet allows you or the students to post stickies with multimedia elements, and you can even export your wall. Whatever that you have on your wall, you can export it. You can save it on your onto your device. Okay, you can save it in a variety of formats: PDF, image, etc. And you can even share your walls, your digital walls, through social media sites. So make sure to check it out. Padlet.com is another tool, Web2 tool, which you can adopt. The next one is, let's say, Scoop.it. It is also a content curation tool, but the difference is through this tool you can publish online publications. Like you can make online magazines, okay? And you can use this tool in a variety of ways, okay? Like, for example, for classroom projects, or as I said, if you want to make a professional online magazine, you can browse this website and use this tool. Most of these tools have applications on Google Play or on you can install the apps on your iPhones. Some of them may not have apps. All the things are desktop based, but as I said, most of them have apps which you can use. So you can see the explanation here for individuals. The next one is Livebinders.com. So it's a tool used for compiling things. If you want to compile internet resources, Livebinders is one of the best tools out there. You can organize your resources in a variety of formats, and you can determine different web pages and their content in multiple formats. You can consider the aims of your lessons, and if they are in line with those things, and then you can put them together and compile them. In other words, you can prepare a guided tour on the internet related to the subject of your lesson. So as it says, you can see that there are millions of binders out there, and registration is for free. So check it out in order to get familiar with the features of this tool and the facilities which it provides. Okay. The next one, which I think is the most famous one, is Google Forms. You can, if you haven't used it before, it's one of the, let's say, most appropriate and suitable tools out there, which is free and user-friendly, easy to use. You can collect and organize information. You can make quizzes. You can make lessons with multimedia. You can create forms, submission forms, you name it. But it might not be as sophisticated as some of the other tools out there. it's still, however, one of the most popular tools, which is integrated in language teaching contexts or settings. Okay, the other one is Vialog or Vialog, which is, you know, a video-based discussion tool. Is a tool for creating a video-based discussion. You know, you can use this tool to create lessons around a video. It's something like YouTube, but you can use you know, that for your teaching environments. It gives you a lot of features that could be used, you know, when teaching languages. So you can add polls, you can add quizzes, you know, students can comment on the video lesson, you know, they can post comments related with the video, and a lot of other features. I think this one is very useful because students, you know, usually love visual content, and they spend a lot of time, you know, browsing videos every day on YouTube or on social networking websites. So such material could be more, let's say, fascinating for them when it has to do with the visuals. Of course, the registration is free, and you can just go and give it a try. The next tool, which is also very popular, is Lessonwriter.com. You can create reading lessons through this tool. Okay, you can paste the text there, and they determine, you know, the vocabulary, pronunciation, word roots, and everything for you. You know, so this tool automatically does this for you. And you know, there are exercises and questions, you know, related with the given text. You can add them there. So it is mostly reading, you know, oriented. It's just about reading, and you can have full control over everything there in creating the reading lesson from the very beginning. And Lessonwriter also provides, you know, lesson plans as well. So please add it to your list and make sure to check it out. Well, the next tool, which is my favorite, is Quizzescom. It's a free tool. It works on any device. It is web-based. It is, I don't know, it works on iOS, Android, you name it. You can access hundreds of thousands of ready-made learning quizzes, or you can create your own quizzes. It is very, you know, user-friendly. It is eye-catching with great graphic, and it doesn't have any bugs or anything. And last but not least, it is free. You can, you know, it just works easily by just providing the code. You can make, you know, virtual rooms or classrooms. You can, I don't know, you can run online quizzes, online exams. You can export reports. You can send the reports to the parents. You can send the reports to your students. You know, you can't believe how fantastic this tool is. So make sure to check it out. You can, you know, you can even choose to make your quizzes private or public. So if, for example, you have a class, you can just make it private. If you want, you know, everyone to use your materials, you can just make it public so everyone can use it. So make sure to check this one out as well. Okay, so let me ask you this question. Have you ever used any of these tools that I introduced here? And if so, could you please share some of your experiences? Which of these tools have you used? Which ones do you think are the most useful? And you could also share your experiences here. You can type in, you can say something, I don't know. So I'm waiting to see if you, okay, you use Google Forms. Okay. Google Forms to create quizzes. So Yasmin, you might want to give Quizzes a try. The tool that I just introduced, I think it's much better than Google Classroom. In some ways, of course. What about the others? Okay. So, you know, language teachers are becoming more and more interested and enthusiastic about integrating. You do not have, can you hear me? Can everyone hear me? Ali, okay. So language teachers, as I said, are becoming more and more interested in, you know, integrating ICT into their teaching environment. So Web 2 tools can create a more student-centered language learning environment because they can be the creators of their own knowledge, and they're not just passive recipients. So language teachers have started to realize that Web 2.0 tools are providing opportunities to enrich and support their students' learning. However, they have to choose, you know, the most, as I said, appropriate ones, because there are hundreds of tools out there, and you know, most of them are free. So, there is something that I'd like to mention here. That technology does not guarantee success in language learning. So, in your idea, what is the key to successful use of technology, and what is the key to success in language learning? Could you please type in your answers and say something about this? What do you think? Let me repeat. What is the key to successful language learning, and what is the key to successful use of technology? What do you think? Okay, you should be interested. Okay, you should be interested in learning. Good. It must be the teacher's enthusiasm, of course. And yeah, you must know how to use technology. Yes, I want to somehow rephrase what I earlier said about this. So, do you think the key to successful use of technology is in hardware? Does it lie in software? Of course not. As we said earlier, you know, it is, you know, humanware. It is our human capacity as teachers to plan and design or curate and, you know, implement effective educational activity. So the key to successful use of technology is humanware. It's neither hardware nor software. Yes. Yeah, for language learning is motivation, and for technology is familiarity. Okay. So when it comes to considering the use of Web 2 tools in language education, teachers should first decide whether these tools serve, let's say, to achieve the aims and objectives of the language lesson, and whether they meet the pedagogical needs of their teaching situation. So if these two criteria are taken into account, Web 2 tools can be of great help to create a more communicative and collaborative language teaching and learning setting. But if you do not pay attention to the factors which I just mentioned, they might not be of great use or help. So you should decide whether they serve to achieve the learning objectives and aims of your lesson, and whether they meet the pedagogical needs. These are very important. Please make a note of this. So okay, let me just, yes, when considering Web 2, the objectives of the lesson is very important, and the pedagogical needs are very important. Okay, let me just, please, let's take a look at this infographic here. It shows the evolution of web. We have Web 1.0, we have Web 2.0, and we have Web 3.0. You can see the information here. On the left-hand side, we have 1 million websites. Then in the middle, we have 25 million websites. And on the right-hand side, we have 100 million websites. Okay. And if you just take a look at Web 1.0, there were just 6 million users. Then it increased and we had 19 million users. And now we have 250 million users. And as you see, there's this interaction. Okay, we have the published content, and then we have the user-generated content. It means we have some content which is published, and then the users themselves add and curate and generate content. So this content generation is ever increasing, and is increasing day by day. As you see, more and more users are let's say collecting and designing and organizing materials and putting those things on the web. So it is evolving into something maybe bigger in near future. So let's take a look at this. This is a comparison between Web 1.0, Web 2.0, and Web 3.0. And we have different categories here. We have communication, information, focus, personal, content, interaction, search, metrics, advertising, research, and technologies. You can see how it has evolved and it has changed. And we as language teachers should adapt ourselves to these changes, with the passage of time. And such tools that we just went through could help us to not get behind and go with the flow, and make them to use them to our advantage. Let's just go through a couple of these. Like, for example, take a look at the first one, communication. It was just broadcast. In Web 2.0, it was interactive, and now it is invested and engaged. Or let's take a look at the fourth one, the fourth category, personal. It was just home pages, and then we had blogs and wikis, and now we have, you know, I think it's live streams. It's just live streams. Like, for example, what we have nowadays, you know, you can stream online videos and everything. People can join live streams and online sessions, and it is something very common. Or in the past, the content, the fifth category, it was just ownership, and now in Web 2.0, it was sharing, and now it's curation. It means you collect and you organize and design everything yourself. You know, the pattern of interaction has changed. The pattern of search has changed. Everything has changed. Even the technologies related to computer has changed. In Web, the last one, technologies, Web 1.0, it was just HTML, FTP. I don't know if you're familiar with such terms, but they were just basic and simple things. In Web 2.0, we had Flash, Java, and XML. Like Flash, I don't know, there were some, let's say, interactive material with the stories and texts and maybe quizzes. But now, you know, it has totally evolved. We have just RDF, RDFS, or ontology, web language, or resource description frameworks, or resource description framework schema. I'm giving you, you know, the RDF. RDF stands for resource description framework. These are, you know, it's a standard for, let's say, data interaction. It is a standard for data interaction, and they have all to do with, you know, computer languages. Anyway, just I wanted you to see and, you know, have a glance at the differences between different versions of web. And okay, if you want to read more on Web 3.0, you can just, you know, browse this link. I can just put it, maybe, let me see if I can. Okay, let me. I can put it maybe in the chat box for you, so you can. Okay. Here, I sent it through the chat box. Can you see the link now? Okay, good. Good. So, okay, if you want to read more on this, you can just browse this link. It gives you an insight into what Web 3.0. And if you just search it, I think nowadays they're talking about Web 4.0. So, you know, with the advance and the breakthroughs in how technology is evolving, it is not surprising that everything is, you know, progressing so quickly, and everything is changing to a great degree. So, if I want to just, you know, give a short description of, let's say, Web 3.0, I can say that it's the semantic web, okay? And this semantic web is considered as a concept for, you know, for many educators, and it has been around for more than 10 years now. So it is, you know, about the perception and interaction on the internet with the introduction of features and tools that, you know, go way beyond those provided by social media. So personal assistants could be one example if you want to talk about, you know, Web 3.0, or intelligent agents could be another example, or 3D gaming is something that could be considered as Web 3.0. Virtual worlds could be another example, or open educational resources, etc. So these are some examples of Web 3.0, which is referred to as Semantic Web. So if you just browse this link, you can get more information on this. So let's just go through the aims of our event again. We defined and explored Web 2.0, and we also explored the evolution of Cal. It was behavioristic Cal, you know, and then we talked about, you know, how it evolved, and then we had Integrative Cal, and then it turned into Web 2.0. We explored a couple of popular and useful tools, Web 2 tools, and we also got introduced into Web 3.0. So I want you to reflect a little bit for maybe a minute about the best thing that you learned today, and about one more thing that you would like to know about Web 2.0, or maybe Web 3.0, or even the further versions of this. And okay. So if you have any questions, you can ask. We have a Q&A session right now for maybe just 5 or 6 minutes. Do you have any questions? So do you have any questions? Sorry, I got disconnected. If you have any questions, you can ask. Any questions? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for joining this session. I hope it was informative and useful to you. If you have any questions, I'm here for you to answer. Thank you very much. Thank you for attending. Anytime. So it seems that you do not have any questions. Thank you very much for attending. I hope to see you again, and have a good time. Take care. Bye-bye.